Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 143 of the Karen Knits podcast. It's taken me 3 tries just to get that first little sentence out. We might be in for a treat today. I have no idea what's going to happen. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm in fine form today. You've been warned. Anyway, welcome to episode number 143 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and where I get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. I'm in fine form. I'm just getting over a bit of a cold, so there might be a bunch of jump cuts in here where I have to pause and cough up a lung. I wasn't near as sick as my husband was, but he still has a bit of a lingering cough, but we're both on the mend now. So it might be the effects of cold medicine or too much caffeine, or who knows. Anyway, if you're a new viewer, welcome. You might be worried about what you're joining in here. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back again for another week to see what I've been up to with my knitting and other crafting stuff. I'm so happy to have everyone here with me today. So it is Saturday, January 7th, 2023. We're a week into the new year already, and I've had a good week. I've been a little bit sick, not too bad, enough that I took it easy on Monday and Tuesday, kind of laid pretty low. Laid a little bit low on Wednesday, but I had a chance to get a lot of knitting done, a fair bit of knitting done. I also had some school things that needed to be done. Our semester resumes in full swing on Monday morning, so I'll be back to teaching my classes and working with my students and all that good stuff. So that all starts up in full swing Monday morning. I will be spending a bit more time later today and probably some tomorrow afternoon, making sure everything's 100% ready to go for Monday morning. But other than that, the week was fairly busy with a few school things, getting over this bit of a cold I had, and getting some knitting done. So after all that yakking about whatever, I've got better daylight today than I had last week, and I don't have the camera focusing on a squishmallow behind me, so hopefully this face is in focus today. I'm not even sure. Put my glasses on. Yes, I'm in focus this time. Without my glasses on, the camera is at a distance where I can't quite see it 100%, so I'm never quite sure if things are 100% in focus or not. Hey, I'm a professional at this. Right. Anyway, still drinking out of my Christmas cup because I just love the sentiment. And it's probably less obnoxiously seasonal than my one with the blue pumpkins on it. So I think I'll have to go through my collection and pull out my late winter teacup. Anyway, so as I've been nattering about already, I've got a fair bit of knitting done, and I'm so stinking close to a finish. I'm so close. It will be a finished object later today, but I thought I'd best show it to you now, and I'll finish it off later this afternoon, early evening, and then I'll get the blocking done on Monday. We are probably going to have company over after lunch tomorrow for dessert, so I can't monopolize the entire dining room table as much as I'd like to. Although, as a very close friend of ours, and I honestly don't think he would care if we just took bowls of dessert into the living room and just sat and talked there. But I'd rather we actually were able to sit at our dining room table and eat a dessert like civilized animals. not whatever. Anyway, so my Twists and Turns shawl by Stephen King is almost done. Almost done. All that's left to do is the bind off, a handful of finishing touches, which I'm not quite sure how they're done yet because I haven't read that part of the pattern in detail yet or watched the tutorial video in enough detail yet to have seen that part. I don't have to worry about it until a bit later. And I have a handful of ends to tuck in. Not many. I've caught up with most of them earlier in the week or maybe last week. I don't remember when it was. Recently. I recently got caught up with the majority of the tails, so there's not much of that to do. And I will get it blocked on Monday. I'll have time to let it have a good long soak, and I'll be able to wash, because this is I used whole super soft for this, and it will give me time to get the spinning oils cleared out of it and then get it blocked. So since I saw you last week, I'll try to do this without letting the ball of yarn escape on me. I have been able to finish, yeah, you can see the marker. So from the marker, the stripe portion has been completed up to this part of the triangle. So that part I finished. That part didn't take too long. And I've also started, and so I'm just getting the tails out of the way so you can see it. And I've also got the last part almost fully completed. I added where the lighter blue is, that zigzag portion, and the zigzag portion below that, or the chevron portion. So all that's left to do now is untangle myself, tuck in these handful of tails. Oh my gosh, they're like Velcro, they're just sticking here. I'm just gonna tuck on those tails and do the I-cord bind off along this edge here. So it's over 120 or 140 stitches. I forget how many are on here, but I'll do the I-cord bind off along there, and then we have to do something with this little. Oops, I think I was showing you the back side of it. Oh my goodness. This is the proper side of it. So the chevron part was done this past week, and the light blue, and then this portion up at the top was done. So as I said, there's still the I-cord. There goes the ball of yarn. I knew he was going to escape on me. The I-cord bind off has to be done, and then there's two of these little braid things, one on either end here and also on this side, that have to be tacked down somehow. And as I mentioned before, let me get this yarn before it. I haven't read that far ahead in the pattern in enough detail to know exactly what it is that we need to do. I think there's a bit of a tutorial to watch on that, but my guess is it's just stitching it down and just tacking it down so it doesn't escape. So that has to be done. I'll do the I-cord bind off once I'm done editing this video this afternoon and get that done. Finishing touches, tuck in the last tails, and it's ready to bind off, or it's ready to block on Monday. I'll get it soaking, get it all pinned out within an inch of, I don't know if that one needs to be blocked within an inch of its life, but I'll get it all pinned out and blocked, and when I see you next Saturday, it will be 100% done. So that's my twist and turn shawl, West Knits Stephen West pattern. It was the mystery shawl knit along from the fall 2022. So I started knitting this in early October, and I'm finally getting almost finished with it now. I am never able to keep up with his mystery shawl knit alongs. I cannot knit that fast, and I always finish them quite a bit later than a lot of other people, and I'm perfectly happy with that. I'm fine with that. So other knitting this week, I spent time on 4 out of my 5 whips that I have. So twists and turns is going to be a finished object. The knitting part will be done by the end of today, and so then I'll have my 4 whips, and I will spend a good part of time in the next week working on all 4 of those. So my next one that I'd like to show you is tangled up, untangled now, is my I called it this last week also. This is not my habitation throw. I have not made that pattern yet. This is my anthology throw. This is a pattern by Helen Stewart, and it was one of the patterns in the Knit Vent collection from 2022. I am using, for this one, I don't know if I told you, for the twists and turns I used Whole Super Soft. For this I am using yarn from an advent calendar I bought from Orlando Fiber Arts, and I'm on color number 15 now. So I will eventually get this throw completed, but right now I have added in color number 15. Just tuck that over safely in my armpits so it's not going to get away on me. Otherwise it'll go rolling across the room on me probably. So after I saw you last week, where is my starting? Oh my goodness. I'm clearly not 100% with after the cold medicine. I was at this marker. So I haven't done a lot on this. I finished color 14, this lighter blue, and I've got a couple rounds done on color number 15. So I'm just doing an eyelet round now, and then there's several more knit rounds before I'll get ready to add in color number 16. So that is where I'm at with my anthology throw by Helen Stewart. I am loving all of the colors in this shawl, or throw, wrap, whatever I'm going to call it. The pattern calls it a throw. I will probably use it as a shawl, fold it in half and wear it that way. But I am loving the color combination from this advent calendar. That's so bright. This color is just so bright. But I am loving this, and I'm thoroughly enjoying working on it. Absolutely loving working on this pattern. So that is my anthology throw by Helen Stewart. When I am finished with however many rounds I can get with my advent yarn in the anthology throw, I usually have between 2 and 3 grams left after each color, and that's not enough to make it all the way around once on the throw right now with the number of stitches on there. So what I have been doing with the leftovers is I'm making a pair of scrappy advent socks. They're toe up, and just a basic recipe for toe up socks. They have the gusset increases, and they will have a heel turn and heel flap, and then continue up the leg. I've done the toes in a contrasting color. I will do the heel, or the heel turn and the heel flap in the same contrasting bear color. And I might do the cuff in bear. I'll wait and see how long the leg is getting as I move through the skeins, or the leftovers on the yarn. So this is, I'm at the point right now where I am ready to begin the heel turn. And I have finished using color number 14, wasn't that? So I said 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I finished color 13. Color 14 is going into the throw right now. So color 13 brings me to the point where I'm ready to add in the heel turn and do the heel flap. Since I saw you last week, I've added color 12, finished color 12 and finished color 13 on here. And I'm all set and ready to do the heel turn. I might do that this evening. Not quite sure yet, but I might get that done tonight. So, project number 3 that has seen a fair bit of work this week. And then my 4th and final project that I got some work done on this week is another pair of toe-up socks, and these are my January sort of shorty socks. I absolutely loved the 24-day advent calendar that I got from Orlando Fiber Arts. She also has a 12-day advent calendar that includes 12 50-gram skeins of yarn. So I thought that would be perfect to make 12 pair of sort of shorty socks, which will have contrasting toes, heels, and maybe cuffs. So I cast on the toes for the January socks. I cast those on New Year's Eve, and I opened up the January color on Sunday morning. So you haven't seen the January color yet. I think I was about halfway through the toes when I filmed last week. I'm keeping this in a project bag that I got from Moonstone Makes, or Moonstone Dye Works, a while back. And here is my January sort of shorty socks. This is the color. It is gorgeous. It is an absolutely fantastic teal. I love this color. And here's where I am with the socks. I'm doing them 2 at a time, magic loop, the same as I'm doing with my Advent leftovers. When I saw you last week, I was down here, had about halfway through the toes done. So I finished the toes and I'm working my way up the foot now. And this color is so pretty. Such a pretty color. A little bit tonal, it's showing up with teeny bit of almost a stripy looking appearance, and I love it. I am loving this pair of socks, and I think I'm going to absolutely love doing once a month pair of sort of shorty socks with my little advent calendar, the 50-gram advent calendar. I wish more people would sell hand-dyed yarn in 50-gram skeins of sock yarn. Because for me, the 50-gram skein with contrasting toes, heels, and probably cuffs are the perfect length and size for socks for me. And they're perfect. I love it. So, again, that was where my progress was from. About half, all I had done last week was just about half the toes. Finished the toes and got a goodly bit done moving up the foot. So I'm probably getting to almost halfway to where I'm going to be ready to put in the contrasting color heels. And I'll do the same. It'll have the gusset increasing, then heel turn and heel flap in the bear yarn, and then continue up the foot using the teal yarn. And then I will knit them as long as I can go with that yarn. If I have a little bit left over, or if the socks are long enough, I might continue on and do the cuff in bare, or I might just do the entire leg and the cuff in the teal if the amount of yarn I have is lasting. This is an experiment. This is the first sock I've done using the 50-gram skein from this particular dyer, so we shall see how it comes out, but I'm excited to keep working on it. I have not opened any of the other boxes of yarn in the 12-day advent calendar. I won't open the second box until February 1st. So I'll probably cast on the toes probably once I finish the January socks. I'll cast on the toes for the February socks, and then they'll be ready to begin knitting the February socks once the 1st of February rolls around and I open up that advent day. So I'm excited to work through those socks all year. It's nice, quiet, mindless knitting that I can just sit down while I'm watching TV or whatever and happily work along knitting on a pair of vanilla socks. And what else? So that's all my knitting. Once Twists and Turns is done, I'm going to put my Rachel top back into rotation and make sure I get some work done on that. Excuse me. Or I might do, I was watching on with Nitty Natty, and she was talking about a thing that they're doing with a group she is running where you do 30 and 30. I can't remember the exact details, but she is doing where they spend 30 minutes a day for 30 days working on a particular project. So I think I might set up something like that where I work with a specified amount of time on that Rachel top every day, so just so that I can get it done. It's been on the needles for quite a while and I'd like to get it done. I'd like to move on to working on a project with heavier yarn. Everything I'm working on right now, all 5 projects I have on the go are all in fingering weight yarn. Yeah, everything is in a fingering weight yarn. So I'd like to start doing something in a little bit fatter yarn than that. So just for a little bit of a change, but I need to get a couple things knocked off the needles before I start something new. Now I think I'm gonna have to cut it short because this cough is starting to come back again. I think I'm done with talking. So that'll do it for today. I will let you go and I'll see you guys again in a week, and you can see the twists and turns all done and blocked and finished and see how much progress I've made on the remaining 4 whips that I will have. Alrighty, have a fantastic week everyone. Take care and I will see you next week. Bye!